The winter wind whipped through the park as Zane Zimmerman clutched his daughter Lily's tiny hand, calculating how to stretch his last $20 until payday while trying not to let his 6-year-old see the worry etched on his face. "Daddy, can we get hot chocolate?" Lily asked, her breath making little clouds in the cold January air. Her purple mittens, slightly too big and passed down from a neighbor's child, wiggled eagerly as she pointed to a vendor cart. Zane looked down at his daughter's hopeful face, framed by the secondhand coat he'd found at a thrift store. $5 for hot chocolate meant $5 fewer for groceries, but the smile lighting up Lily's face was worth the sacrifice. "Just 1 cup, kiddo." "We'll share," he said, tightening the worn scarf around his neck. At 32, Zane had never imagined he'd be a single dad struggling to make ends meet. 4 years ago, Lily's mother had decided that motherhood and marriage weren't for her, leaving him with a 2-year-old daughter, a mountain of debt, and a heart that still hadn't fully recovered. He worked as an electrician, picking up every extra shift he could at the construction company, but with daycare costs and the recent rent increase, every month was a careful balancing act of bills and bare necessities. "Look how pretty the frost is, Daddy," Lily exclaimed, pointing at the crystalline patterns forming on the park bench. Despite everything, his daughter found beauty in the smallest things, a trait that kept him going on the hardest days. They walked along the park path, sharing sips of hot chocolate between them. The park was quieter than usual, with most people seeking shelter from the unusually bitter cold. Zane was just thinking about heading home when he heard a sharp cry followed by a thud. About 20 feet ahead, a woman had slipped on a patch of ice. Without hesitation, Zane hurried forward, Lily trailing behind him. "Are you okay?" he asked, kneeling beside the woman who was clutching her ankle, her face contorted in pain. "I think so," she replied, though her grimace told a different story. "Just clumsy and not paying attention." She was beautiful in an understated way, dark hair pulled back in a simple ponytail, minimal makeup, and warm brown eyes that seemed to hold both intelligence and kindness. She wore a quality coat, but nothing flashy. "Here, let me help you up." Zane extended his hand. "I'm Zane, and this is my daughter Lily." "I'm Olivia," she said, taking his hand. "Olivia Blackwell, thank you for stopping." When she tried to stand, she winced and nearly fell again. Zane caught her easily. "Whoa, careful there. That ankle doesn't look good." "It really hurts," Olivia admitted, biting her lip. "I was supposed to meet someone, but I guess that's not happening now." Lily tugged at Zane's jacket. "Daddy, we can't leave her here. She might freeze like the snowman we made." Zane smiled at his daughter's concern. "You're right, Bug, miss." "Olivia, do you need help getting home or to a doctor?" Olivia hesitated, then nodded. "My apartment is actually just across the park. If you could help me get there, I'd be incredibly grateful." "Of course," Zane said. "Lily, can you carry the lady's purse while I help her walk?" Lily nodded solemnly, taking the simple leather bag from Olivia with careful hands while Zane supported the injured woman, letting her lean against him as they slowly made their way across the park. "So what brings you out in this weather?" Zane asked, trying to distract her from the pain. "Fresh air and thinking space," Olivia replied. "Sometimes I need to escape and clear my head." "What about you too?" "Saturday daddy-daughter tradition," Zane explained. "No matter what, we spend Saturday mornings together, even in winter." "That's lovely," Olivia said, her eyes warming as she watched Lily skip ahead, carefully guarding the purse. "She's wonderful." "She's my whole world," Zane said simply. As they approached the edge of the park, Olivia pointed to a towering luxury building with a uniformed doorman. "That's me." Zane couldn't hide his surprise. He'd walked past this building many times but never imagined going inside. Monthly rent here probably cost more than he made in half a year. The doorman rushed forward when he saw Olivia limping. "Miss Blackwell, what happened?" "Just a fall, Marcus." "This kind gentleman and his daughter are helping me home." Marcus gave Zane a once-over, taking in his worn jacket and work boots, but quickly nodded. "Let me assist you, madam." "Thank you, but Zane has it under control," Olivia said firmly. The elevator ride to the penthouse was silent except for Lily's excited whispers about the magic box going up so high. When the doors opened directly into a spacious foyer, Zane tried not to stare at the floor-to-ceiling windows showcasing a panoramic view of the city. "Let me help you to the sofa," Zane offered, carefully guiding Olivia to a plush couch that probably cost more than his car. "I can't thank you enough," Olivia said, elevating her ankle on a pillow. "Would you mind getting some ice from the kitchen through that door?" Zane nodded and headed to a kitchen that looked like it belonged in a magazine. As he filled a dish towel with ice, he wondered about the woman he'd helped. She didn't act like someone who lived in a penthouse, no airs, no condescension, just genuine gratitude. When he returned, Lily was showing Olivia her collection of special rocks she kept in her coat pocket. "This one looks like a heart," Lily was saying, placing a smooth stone in Olivia's palm. "You can have it to help your OE feel better." Olivia's face softened. "That's the sweetest gift I've ever received. Thank you, Lily." Zane gently placed the ice on Olivia's ankle. "You should probably have a doctor look at this." "I will. My personal physician makes house calls," Olivia said, then quickly added, "One of the perks of my job." "What do you do?" Zane asked, curiosity getting the better of him. "I run a company," she said vaguely. "Nothing exciting. Daddy fixes electricity," Lily announced proudly. "He can fix anything that's broken." Olivia smiled. "That's an impressive skill." "Not as impressive as running a company," Zane said, suddenly self-conscious of his calloused hands and worn jeans. "Different skills, not better or worse," Olivia replied, her eyes sincere. "Listen, can I offer you both some lunch? It's the least I can do to thank you." Before Zane could politely decline, pride making him hesitate, Lily chimed in. "Can we, Daddy? Please? I'm starving." Zane couldn't deny that lunch would save him the $5 he'd budgeted for their meal at home. "If you're sure we're not imposing." "Absolutely not." "I'd enjoy the company," Olivia said, reaching for her phone. "I'll order delivery. Any preferences?" An hour later, they were finishing a spread of gourmet sandwiches, fresh fruit, and cookies that Lily declared were the yummiest ever. Conversation had flowed surprisingly easily, with Olivia asking thoughtful questions about Zane's work and Lily's school. "So you're raising her on your own?" Olivia asked during a moment when Lily was distracted by a documentary about sea otters that Olivia had put on her enormous television. "For the past 4 years," Zane nodded. "Her mom decided family life wasn't for her. Honestly, it's been better this way. No more walking on eggshells, no more disappearing acts." "That couldn't have been easy," Olivia said. "It wasn't, still isn't sometimes," Zane admitted. "But Lily deserves stability and happiness, so I make it work." "She's lucky to have you," Olivia said, her voice soft. A knock at the door interrupted them. A distinguished older man entered, carrying a medical bag. "Dr. Reynolds, thank you for coming on such short notice," Olivia said. The doctor efficiently examined her ankle, declared it a moderate sprain, and provided a brace and care instructions before departing. "We should probably get going too," Zane said, noting the time. "I promised Lily we'd go to the library this afternoon." "Of course," Olivia said, but there was a hint of disappointment in her voice. "Thank you again for coming to my rescue." "Anyone would have done the same," Zane said, helping Lily back into her coat. "No, they wouldn't," Olivia replied. "I've learned that the hard way." As they prepared to leave, Olivia hesitated, then said, "Would it be too forward to ask for your number? In case I need an electrician sometime." Zane smiled, suspecting it was an excuse but appreciating the tact. He wrote his number on a notepad she offered. "Ready, Bug." He asked Lily, who was reluctantly turning away from the sea otters. "Bye, Miss Olivia. I hope your foot gets better fast," Lily called as they headed to the elevator. "Goodbye, Lily. Thank you for the special rock. I'll keep it safe," Olivia promised, waving from the couch. As the elevator descended, Lily looked up at her father. "I like her, Daddy. She's nice and pretty." "Yes, she is," Zane agreed, trying not to think about the spark he'd felt when helping Olivia across the park, a spark he hadn't experienced since before his wife left. 3 days later, Zane was at work, up to his elbows in wiring at a commercial remodel, when his phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. "Hi, Zane. It's Olivia from the park. I was wondering if you and Lily might like to join me for dinner this Friday, to properly thank you both." "No pressure." Zane stared at the message, conflicted. On one hand, he was attracted to Olivia and enjoyed her company. On the other, their worlds couldn't be more different. The last thing he needed was to develop feelings for someone completely out of his league. After deliberating all day, he finally replied, "Lily would love that." "What time?" Friday evening found Zane and Lily standing outside Olivia's building, Lily bouncing with excitement, and Zane feeling increasingly out of place in his nicest jeans and button-down shirt. "Remember your manners," he reminded Lily as Marcus the doorman nodded them toward the elevator. When Olivia opened the door, her face lit up. She wore simple black pants and a blue sweater, her hair loose around her shoulders. "You came? I'm so glad," she said, ushering them in. Her ankle was still wrapped, but she moved with only a slight limp. "We brought you flowers," Lily announced, thrusting forward a small bouquet of daisies that had been the most affordable option at the grocery store. "They're beautiful," Olivia said, genuinely touched. "No one's brought me daisies in ages. They're actually my favorite." Dinner was surprisingly casual homemade lasagna that Olivia admitted she'd prepared with some guidance from an online tutorial. "I don't cook much," she confessed. "Long hours at work mean I usually order in." "It's delicious," Zane assured her, impressed by the effort. After dinner, while Lily was engrossed in a set of building blocks Olivia had thoughtfully provided, Zane helped clear the dishes. "You didn't need to go to all this trouble to thank us," he said quietly. "That's not why I invited you," Olivia replied, equally soft. "I enjoyed your company, both of you." Their eyes met, and Zane felt that same spark from the park. Before he could respond, Lily called out, "Daddy, look, I built Miss Olivia's house." The evening passed pleasantly, with conversation flowing easily between adult topics and Lily's animated stories about kindergarten. By the time they were preparing to leave, Zane realized he hadn't checked the time, once a rarity for him, as he was usually hyper-aware of every minute when budgeting his day. "This was wonderful," Olivia said at the door. "I'd love to do it again sometime." "We would too," Zane said, surprising himself with how much he meant it. "Maybe next time you could show me your world," Olivia suggested. "I've been in this city for 3 years but haven't explored much beyond work and home," Zane chuckled. "My world's pretty simple compared to this." "Simple sounds perfect," she said sincerely. Over the next few weeks, a pattern emerged. Olivia joined them for pizza and movie nights at Zane's modest apartment. She never commented on the peeling paint or the second-hand furniture, instead complimenting the crafts Lily had made that decorated the walls and the cozy feeling of the space. Zane took her to his favorite neighborhood, spots the family-owned deli where they knew his order by heart, the small park where Lily had taken her first steps. Each time, Olivia seemed genuinely delighted, soaking in experiences that were commonplace to him but novel to her. What struck him most was how Olivia was with Lily attentive and respectful, never talking down to her or trying too hard to win her over. Their relationship developed naturally, with Lily increasingly excited whenever Miss Olivia was joining them. One evening, after Lily had fallen asleep during their movie night, Zane and Olivia sat on his worn couch, talking softly. "Can I ask you something?" Zane said, curiosity finally getting the better of him. "What exactly do you do? You're always vague about your work." Olivia hesitated. "I'm the CEO and majority owner of Blackwell Innovations." Zane's eyes widened. Even he recognized the name of the technology company that had revolutionized renewable energy storage. "You're that Olivia Blackwell, the billionaire?" She nodded, looking uncomfortable. "I don't usually lead with that information." "I can see why," Zane said, trying to process this revelation. "But why spend time with us? Surely you have more exciting options than pizza with a single dad and a 6-year-old. "Is that what you think?" Olivia asked, hurt evident in her voice. "That I'm slumming it with you and Lily for some kind of novelty experience?" "No, Zane faltered. "Our lives are so different." "Yes, they are," Olivia agreed. "I work 80-hour weeks running a global company. Most people I meet either want something from me or are intimidated by me. Do you know how rare it is to meet someone who helps me just because I fell, who shares hot chocolate with his daughter even when money is tight, who sees me as just Olivia?" Zane was silent, absorbing her words. "The truth is," Olivia continued, "these past few weeks have been the happiest I've been in years. I'm not playing at being normal, I'm finally experiencing something real." I'm sorry, Zane said, reaching for her hand. I didn't mean to accuse you of anything. It's just hard to imagine what someone like you sees in someone like me. I see a man who prioritizes his daughter above everything, who works incredibly hard without complaint, who treats everyone with respect regardless of their status, Olivia said, squeezing his hand. That's rare, Zane. Rarer than you might think. Their first kiss happened naturally that night, gentle and questioning at first, then deeper as they answered each other's unspoken questions. When Olivia left, Zane stood in his doorway watching her go, wondering how his life had taken such an unexpected turn. The following weeks brought new challenges as they navigated their growing relationship. Zane struggled with his pride when Olivia wanted to treat them to experiences he could never afford. Olivia had to learn that her usual approach to problems, throwing money at them, wasn't always welcome or appropriate. Their first real argument came when Olivia, noticing Lily's worn-out winter boots, ordered an expensive replacement pair without consulting Zane. I was already saving for new boots, Zane said, trying to keep his voice down so Lily wouldn't hear them arguing in the kitchen. I don't need you to swoop in and fix things. I wasn't trying to fix anything, Olivia countered. I saw something that would make Lily happy and bought it. What's wrong with that? Because it makes me feel like I can't provide for my own daughter, Zane admitted, the truth finally coming out. Like you think I need rescuing. Olivia's expression softened. That's not what I think at all. I think you're an amazing father who provides Lily with everything that truly matters. I just want to contribute to your lives the way you've contributed to mine. And how's that? Zane asked, still defensive. You've given me perspective, normalcy, joy, Olivia said simply. Do you know I actually took a weekend off work last week, first time in 3 years, because I wanted to spend it with you too. Zane's anger deflated. I'm sorry, I'm not used to accepting help. It's been just Lily and me for so long. I understand, Olivia said. How about this? I promise to talk to you before buying anything significant for Lily, and you promise to tell me if you're feeling uncomfortable instead of bottling it up. Deal, Zane agreed, pulling her into an embrace. As spring bloomed, so did their relationship. Olivia began teaching Lily about gardening, starting a small container garden on Zane's tiny balcony. Zane helped Olivia rediscover simple pleasures, flying kites, eating ice cream cones that dripped down their fingers, watching thunderstorms from the safety of a blanket fort. One evening, Olivia arrived at their apartment looking uncharacteristically nervous. Everything okay? Zane asked after Lily had proudly shown Olivia the progress of their tomato plants. Yes, Olivia said, though she was fidgeting with her watch. I just have something to ask you both. After dinner, while they were cleaning up, Olivia took a deep breath. So I've been thinking, my lease is up next month and I'm not sure I want to renew. Zane looked at her, confused. You're moving? Well, that depends, she said. On you and Lily. How so? I found a house, Olivia said cautiously. It's not far from here, still in the same school district for Lily. It has a yard and 4 bedrooms and space for a real garden. Sounds nice, Zane said, still not understanding where she was going with this. I want us to live there. Together, Olivia said in a rush, all 3 of us. Zane set down the dish he was drying. You want us to move in with you? Only if you want to, Olivia said quickly. I know it's a big step, but I love you, Zane, and I love Lily. These past months have shown me what I want my life to be, and it's with you too. Zane was quiet, processing her words. It wouldn't be my house that you're moving into, Olivia clarified. It would be our house. I've already spoken to a lawyer about putting it in both our names. Olivia, please don't say no right away, she interrupted. Think about it. Talk to Lily. This isn't about money or me trying to change your lives. It's about me wanting to be part of them. Later that night, after Olivia had gone home and Lily was asleep, Zane sat on his balcony looking at the container garden they'd planted together. The tomato plants were thriving, reaching toward the sky just as his feelings for Olivia had grown and deepened. He thought about his reservations, the vast difference in their financial situations, his fierce independence, his fear of failing at another relationship. But he also thought about how Olivia had seamlessly integrated into their lives, how she respected his parenting decisions, how she treated Lily with genuine love. The next morning, he talked to Lily about the possibility of moving in with Olivia. Her response was immediate and enthusiastic. Yes. Can Miss Olivia be my second mommy? Carly at school has two mamas. Slow down, Bug, Zane laughed. Let's take one step at a time. That evening, he called Olivia. Can you come over? I have an answer for you. When she arrived, her face was a mixture of hope and apprehension. Lily immediately ran to her with a drawing she'd made of the three of them standing in front of a house with an enormous garden. Is this us? Olivia asked, kneeling to examine the picture. Yep. Daddy said we might live with you and I could have my own room and we could have a big garden instead of just the little pots, Lily explained excitedly. Olivia looked up at Zane, her eyes questioning. If the offer still stands, he said softly, we'd like to accept. The joy that spread across Olivia's face was answer enough, but she stood and wrapped her arms around him anyway. It absolutely stands, but I have conditions, Zane said, his voice serious though his arms held her close. Name them, Olivia said. I pay my share proportional to my income, but my share nonetheless, Zane stated. I need to contribute. Done, Olivia agreed without hesitation. And we're equals in this relationship and in parenting Lily, he continued. Your opinion matters just as much as mine, regardless of who makes more money. Absolutely, Olivia nodded. Anything else? Zane smiled, pulling her closer. Just one more thing, I love you, Olivia Blackwell. I love you too, Zane Zimmerman, she whispered before Lily inserted herself between them for a group hug. The move happened gradually over the next month. The house Olivia had found was beautiful, but not ostentatious, a century-old colonial with character and warmth. True to her word, Olivia had the deed put in both their names despite Zane's protests about the financial imbalance. It's just a house, she'd said. What matters is that it's our home. Lily fell in love with her new bedroom, which had a window seat perfect for reading and a view of the backyard, where Olivia was already planning an elaborate garden. Zane converted one of the spare rooms into a home office for Olivia so she could work from home more often. 6 months after moving in together, on a perfect summer evening, Zane planned a special dinner in their backyard. Olivia had been working long hours on a new project, and he wanted to surprise her with some quality family time. He set up a table under the pergola they'd built together, strung with fairy lights. Lily helped arrange flowers from their garden as a centerpiece. Is tonight the night, Daddy? Lily whispered as they heard Olivia's car pull into the driveway. It is, Bug, remember our secret, Zane winked. Lily mimed zipping her lips. When Olivia came through the gate to the backyard, her tired expression transformed to one of delight. What's all this? We missed you, Zane said simply, pulling out her chair. And we wanted to celebrate. Celebrate what? Olivia asked, accepting a handmade card from Lily. Us, Zane said, his heart pounding as he reached into his pocket. This past year has been the most unexpected and wonderful journey. Olivia's eyes widened as he knelt beside her chair. When I helped you up in the park that day, I had no idea I was meeting the woman who would change my life, Zane said, his voice steady despite his nerves. You've shown me that love doesn't care about bank accounts or social status. It cares about who makes your heart fuller, your days brighter, and your life better. He opened the small box in his hand, revealing a simple but elegant ring. Olivia Blackwell, would you do me the honor of becoming my wife and officially becoming Lily's second mom? Tears welled in Olivia's eyes. Yes, she whispered. 1,000 times yes. Lily, who could no longer contain her excitement, jumped up and down. She said, yes, Daddy, now we can be a forever family. As Zane slipped the ring onto Olivia's finger, a ring he'd saved for months to purchase himself, she pulled him close and whispered, Thank you for helping me up that day. I've been falling for you ever since. Their wedding the following spring was intimate and joyful. Lily served as both flower girl and ring bearer, proudly walking down the aisle in a dress she'd helped design. The ceremony took place in their backyard, now transformed with lush gardens and flowering trees. Olivia had scaled back her work hours significantly, passing many of her CEO responsibilities to her capable executive team so she could be present for school pickups and family dinners. Zane had started his own electrical contracting business with Olivia's encouragement, finding fulfillment in being his own boss and setting his own schedule around Lily's needs. At the reception, as they shared their first dance as husband and wife, Olivia leaned her head against Zane's shoulder. "Do you ever think about how different our lives would be if you hadn't been in the park that day?" "Sometimes," Zane admitted. "But then I remember something my grandfather used to say, the best things in life happen when you're busy making other plans." He was a wise man, Olivia smiled. "He would have loved you," Zane said, "almost as much as Lily and I do." As if on cue, Lily wiggled her way between them. "My turn to dance." Laughing, Zane lifted his daughter up as Olivia wrapped her arms around them both, completing their circle of three. 2 years later, their family grew when Olivia gave birth to twins, a boy and a girl, who had Lily proudly declaring herself the best big sister ever. Their home filled with even more love, more chaos, and more joy. On quiet evenings, after the children were asleep, Zane and Olivia would often sit in their garden, marveling at the life they'd built together. "Not bad for a chance meeting in a park," Zane would say, kissing his wife's temple. "The best fall I ever took," Olivia would reply, leaning into him. "I'm still falling, you know, every single day." And in those moments, surrounded by the garden they'd nurtured together, Zane knew that true wealth had nothing to do with bank accounts and everything to do with the family that had blossomed from one simple act of kindness on a cold winter day.